You're about to listen to TADPOG, Tyler and Dave Play Old Games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet, and welcome. Welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a little show where two guys, occasionally a third guy, talk about old games. Mm-hmm. We might sound different.
We might sound different.
Different.
Our soundboard is dying, and I bought a different thing to use, and we've used it before. When I recorded with Josh and Jacob while you were out, Tyler, we used this device, this Zoom recorder.
And those sounded good.
Yeah, they sound like normal TADPOG. I wouldn't say they sound good. They sound like normal TADPOG quality. let's define.
They sound like
things
acceptable to Josh Edwards, which is I'm happy with that.
That's a bar.
Time Lord Josh Edwards.
That's a bar that we can meet, and I'm good to stick with that.
So if this is your first episode, like you were expecting like some good sports goodness, then that's a small inside joke to a fan / co-host, Time Lord Josh Edwards. You can find him on our wiki page.
You can.
Yeah.
What's the URL for that?
I don't know. Just Google TADPOG wiki. But so today, gifted from the randomizer, we are playing NFL Quarterback Club. So of course we had to bring on the foremost sports authority in the TADPOG nation.
Yes.
Like absolutely bar none. The number one sports encyclopedia.
John Madden. Welcome to the show, John.
The guy who scores more wins the game.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Man, Tony hated John Madden because of stuff like that, of just like, no shit. Just the common sense thing drove Tony crazy.
I need that because it's like, and also, did I get his name right? Is it John Madden?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
It's Ron Madden.
Damn
Ron
it.
Madden.
I could like, it's Juan Madden.
I feel like if you can't even know who John Madden is as someone who likes video games at this point, it's just you're trying. You're just aiming at it.
It's like Tyler with Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, nope, not gonna watch
My first introduction to John Madden was what's
Mad
his name?
TV?
Impression Mad TV.
Frank Caliendo.
Frank Caliendo. There you go. I was like, this sounds pretty good, whoever he's being.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
All of my shitty Madden impressions are essentially an impression of an impression. And they're all Caliendos.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's true, though, in general of impressionists. Like, I just heard Dana Carvey kind of all but accuse, people of, or Mike Myers of stealing the hook of his impression and just taking it.
Really?
Which
Dana Carvey accused Mike Myers of stealing a hook of an impression?
For Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil.
Really?
Because Dr. Evil is Lorne Michaels, and Dana Carvey was the only guy doing it. And then since then, I guess everybody does it at SNL. Like, everybody has a Lorne impression, according to Bill Hader on YouTube. Things that I've watched in between porn.
Yeah.
Also, John Madden, Dennis Robinson, Lord Dennis Robinson.
Yeah, are we changing Dennis's title?
I think
if
we
there's
should.
a way that I could stay John Madden, that would be great. I mean, that says a lot about my life to where it's like, do you want to be an 86, 90-year-old man who's overweight and in bad health? It's like, yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of money, man, and buy a lot of leg braces with all that money.
Madden Lord Dennis Robinson.
Or just John Madden. John Madden Dennis Robinson. Welcome to the show.
Thanks. It's different than the last time I was here. I didn't expect this much marble. I mean, the Patreon money has just gone to you guys' heads.
Yeah, oh yeah, I
It's
know.
opulent.
The fountain is a bit much. You know?
We were offered we could get like
The fountain full of Melissa's breast milk that I just keep just going constantly.
we could get one cherub pissing Melissa's breast milk, but we decided why not get 3? One for each of us, and then one for a guest host.
Build a Swigaden bathhouse full of peeing boys.
Yeah.
I don't get that reference. But I do know a lot about football.
And peeing boys.
As you should, John Madden, Dennis Robinson.
Oh shit. Well, you guys have any intros, any stories, anything
No,
to
let's
talk
just
about?
get right into the game.
Just jump right in.
Yeah,
We only have so much time.
Yeah.
And this is a game of great depth. No,
Yeah,
I'm just,
maybe we should
I'm
talk
just
about
playing.
But I said we can't take calls in this setup, can we?
Can't take calls yet on this setup.
Yeah.
Not yet. So,
I
we
guess
can just stare at each other.
We better
awkwardly.
think of something. That's our buffer.
I could do a thing where I pretend to be calling in.
All right, perfect.
But I
Let's
mean,
do it.
I don't really have other voices, so that's going to be a problem.
John Madden's on the line.
Yeah, it'll just, I could only do that one little part, though, of like score more.
That's all you say.
Pretty much. Just
Essentially, we have a John Madden soundboard.
Hey, it's me, Terrified Michelle.
like I'm better with like Harry Carey being a Cubs fan because I mean I even watched the Cubs when he was doing it, and then afterwards you kind of
Cubs win.
if the moon was made of cheese, would you eat it? It's like the Will Ferrell basically is who I'm copying.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, to me, that is
Harry Carey.
Harry Carey. It's Will Ferrell. I mean, like, because I didn't even know him before. I didn't know
really?
about him before I saw Will Ferrell.
In many ways, it's late Harry Carey, especially as he got older, was a toned down, like Will Ferrell's a toned down version. Because like I'd be watching a game and someone would hit a home run and he'd be in the middle of the story about drinking down at somewhere, and it'd be like, home run, oh look at the sailboats, like because he was like senile a little bit maybe, and he sure was drunk. Like everybody knew that.
I'm Dave. Hi, I'm usually on this show. I had jury duty, so I did that today. So that was
how was that?
we sentenced the Scranton Strangler, Toby, to like 28 life sentences consecutive.
Perfect. Good. I don't want him to get a break.
Yeah.
That guy's the worst.
Yeah. No, I just got to sit in a uncomfortable pew for like 3 hours.
That's how you know it's the South. Is that like the courthouse
Church
is
pews, not
like
chairs.
No, it's just in the church.
Yeah. No, I mean, very well. I mean,
The true place of judgment, the church.
Yeah.
God's house. Yeah. So I wasn't selected. So
Good.
I was, kind of good. It took me 3 hours to find out that I wasn't selected. So at that point, it's kind of like, I'm invested in this.
Did you play up anything in order to get rejected?
No, they didn't even ask me any questions. Because,
Just didn't like the look of you.
yeah.
Just like the looks of that one.
No.
I mean, you had an NFL experience today, and you don't know it.
I did?
Yeah, you were waiting to get drafted,
Yeah.
and it didn't happen.
I wasn't picked.
You didn't have the talent. No. Maybe you could walk on.
I'm trying to think of other shit that I've done. Anything this week? It's been a busy week. It's been a busy week with Jack and the NICU. So it's just been like work, NICU until time to go to bed, and then get up, rinse and repeat every day. But he's doing pretty well. So we thought for a minute he had to go back to Louisville, but he's not. So
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, that's very good.
So they're trying a new formula with him. The last one they have available, but Melissa said he seems to like it. So here's to hoping that keeps going.
Definitely.
Yeah, talk about the game then.
Talk about the game.
Anything
Dennis,
else?
anything going on with you?
I don't have any story that can follow that. Do you know what I mean? It's everybody send their wishes and thoughts.
I mean, you've had a child since the last time you were on, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one of the things that I didn't tell anybody. Dave kind of knew is that we had a lot of. They told us he was going to be sick, and we spent a week in the NICU just them looking for it.
Yeah. Ooh.
Because they were so sure that he was going to. And to this day, I mean, he just got a cold. He's almost 7 months, and that's the first thing they found.
He's a smiley baby.
He is.
I
He
hear.
smiles 100 times a day, which
That's awesome.
I'm going to have to figure out where Marie's been. 'Cause that is not a trait that I have.
Whose are you?
Who's the smiler?
Actually, my wife is. I actually call her Smiley, so that it works out. That's Smiley Jr., I guess. And what I was thinking when I had another kid was, what? I already have this strong-willed daughter. I have this wife that drives me a little crazy that I love. I should have another version that's a lot like both of them. It's going to be great. I'm just playing. They're very lucky, very, very happy.
I also have a headstrong child. Yeah. Very, he just knows what he wants.
Yeah, I mean, for you people that can't see it, is Dave has a black eye.
Yeah.
He's like, give me my goddamn treat.
I ran into a doorknob.
You ran into
Yeah.
I fell down the steps.
I fell down the steps. It had absolutely nothing to do with making Henry only drink water.
Well, it's like
There was a Lightning McQueen toy on the step. That's why it's stamped on my face. I swear, it's just $1 million to 1 shot.
It's like a growth. It's like a Lightning McQueen growth on my.
Well, so
my face.
anytime I think about a black eye, I immediately envision being back in like early high school, spending the night at Josh Nance's house. Co-host TADPOG, half of TADPOG Sweethearts, my childhood friend Josh Nance, staying at his house, and he has a brother 2 years older than him. And they got in a fight for some reason. I can't remember, something fucking stupid. And so I think
Probably Lightning McQueen.
Yeah. And so Josh thinks he's gonna just get the upper hand doing some aerial shit and jumps onto his back trying to like choke him out. So he's got his legs wrapped around his waist and locked around his neck. And Josh's brother just takes, balls of a fist and keeps the front side of his knuckles, where it's just like not the back side, but like the front side.
He gets rid of all the other knuckles.
And he balls that up to a point, and then you just see
So he makes his fist like a spear,
yeah,
almost.
like facing behind him, because Josh is on his back, and he as hard as he can, as hard as he can.
Woo,
Then just immediately just starts punching Josh like this in the face, just forcefully to the point of his knuckles. And I mean, any
died.
further up, Josh would have lost an eye, because he just repeatedly drills Josh right on that ocular bone.
Oh my god!
And just over and over and over and over.
How old were they?
I mean, Josh was probably 7th grade, 8th grade.
Okay, so old enough to take it.
So yeah. Josh has always been old enough to take it.
Yeah, that's the lawful age of abuse. I don't know if you knew that or not.
And I'm sure, but I don't know Josh at all. I want to say that before I say this thing about him, is I'm sure he was used to shit flying at his face.
Well, Tyler did wipe a booger on his face while he was playing Super Metroid.
Yep.
So
Like a big. I don't think I've produced a booger like that since.
That's how you know it was meant to be.
it's a booger. So goddamn big, can't even pronounce it right.
But I remember did that until Josh just slid off his back and do a heap on the floor, and I mean his eye immediately just puffed up and turned black, and he was trying to put peas and shit on it before his parents got home. Like, oh no, because he would have been punished for fighting, even though he got his ass beat. He would have gotten in trouble.
How old was he?
7th grade, 8th grade, probably. Yeah. So like once they got home, he told his mom like, yeah, Tyler and I were playing around, and I slipped on something on the carpet, and I hit my eye on a doorknob.
My eye on a Lego man.
It's a really big one. But I mean, his mom just like, okay, be more careful.
The thing that my takeaway from this is, I need to ask you, Dennis, because the graphic designer in me, the moment Tyler said aerial, I immediately didn't like it. Had nothing to do with fighting, wrestling, anything. I was like, the font, like knockoff Microsoft, knockoff Helvetica.
Yeah. He was dressed as Clippy, and all his moves are fonts.
Hey, it looks like you're trying to beat my ass. Would you like help with that?
If I hear the word aerial, I just automatically tone it out and replace it with Helvetica.
Redacted. Yeah.
So, he meant Helvetica.
That's all I got. Yeah. It was a good Josh Nance story. Unless I want to pull up some Ask Reddit.
Pull up an Ask Reddit.
Do that. Fill some time. Prompt some good conversation. Let me get back in the mic again. I'm not talking off mic. Let's see. The 16-year-old version of you just moved in and is now your new roommate. What is the first thing you two would fight about?
Over the lube, probably. Because like 16-year-old me is like, what is that? And I'm like, nothing.
You don't want it.
Yeah, you don't need this. Trust me. You got all that lotion. Just
I don't know. It looks pretty good. I think I want that.
No, you don't want it. You don't want none of this shit.
Is it expensive? No,
No.
it's the cheapest lube there is.
So if I'm living with him, am I single? If I'm living with myself, am I single? Am I
That's
16?
a good question.
Or is it me now?
I assumed you now moves into your current house, into your current situation.
Man, I probably just kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'd have it all to myself. And you don't have to feel that bad about it. It's me.
What is that trial
Now,
like?
no one's going to jail for suicide, so that's probably okay.
Yet.
I can hide the body. I'm right here. You know what I mean? Do I look dead to you? If I wasn't married, if I was a single guy moving in with my 16-year-old self, he would just be fighting with me over all the ugly women that have been paraded in and out of this apartment.
Well, would you let 16-year-old you fuck your wife?
No.
I mean, still you.
Would you, Tyler, let 16-year-old you fuck your wife?
Probably.
What are the
I mean,
stipulations to that?
I mean, your balls are still intact, so you have to pull out.
I was just off of being somewhat of an athlete. Not really, but still, there's no way that that 39-year-old me could compete with 16-year-old me in other ways, I'm way better.
Oh, see, I could crush 16-year-old. So like that's at least I got that going for me.
Melissa would enjoy 34-year-old me and 16-year-old me having a pussy eating contest. A good old-fashioned self-pussy eating contest.
You know, like the kind you dream about when you're a boy.
How is this contest? How does it work? Who goes first? How do you decide who goes first? How is it judged? She obviously is probably judging, I would think.
Yeah, she's judging. I guess we have to do it on different days because we can't go back to back. One she's going in cold, one she's warmed up for.
Yeah, you got to have like a what do they call that in sports? Like before a tournament?
A scrimmage.
A pre-tournament.
Got to have an oral scrimmage.
Like
in a race.
What is it when
a pre-qualifier?
In
There we
golf
go.
where you get like a do-over? I can't think what that's called.
A mulligan?
A mulligan.
I know that from Magic the Gathering.
Oh, well, whatever.
but that's what it's called.
There's golf in Magic the Gathering?
No, if you don't draw enough land cards, you can call a mulligan and redraw your 7 cards that you start with. Is it 7 or 6? It's been a while, but I remember talking about Magic the Gathering with a friend and like using the term mulligan and like my dad like perking up. You boys talking about? Never mind.
I'm just thinking about like golfers as magic cards. Like if you like Jack Nicklaus has like
He's
you have to
a
pay, you have to pay like
planeswalker?
5 mana every round, otherwise he chokes and he just can't.
I'm always
he loses the game at the last second.
I'm one of as a graphic designer, I think Dave will say this is true about our type of people, is that I'm the collector, so I would want the most interesting card, not necessarily the one that was
That
best.
plays the best.
And John Daly, I would have to have the John Daly Magic the Gathering card.
Is that
like
a golfer?
Yeah, he's like known as like.
Or do you mean Jon Stewart from The Daily Show?
No, John Daly like hit the ball like farther than anyone else.
Oh, okay.
But then he was
Not
kinda
Happy Gilmore.
overweight, kind of looked more like Bobby Knight than a golfer. You know what I mean? Like, and then
He is a weird looking dude.
at one point he there's a video online or wherever you can watch him like have alcohol withdrawals as he's playing. And then that never happens again. You tell me how that works. And I don't think anyone think he got better. I just think he.
What do you mean it never happens again?
I mean, he doesn't get the shakes anymore.
No,
And I don't think he stopped drinking.
Right, I got you.
Yeah.
He's got that one hollow club.
I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. So,
The Fun Club.
but I mean,
I'm not- I
because he
hope he
was
golfs
never
drunk.
even like a great golfer. He would just hit it so much
So
further.
he
than
was Happy
everybody.
He was a
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, in a way, like he's the closest thing to it.
How long ago did he play?
I mean, he might still somewhat play on maybe,
Oh, really? So he's
but he's right at like maybe the senior tour age. It was probably the 90s to early 2000s, I would think.
okay. Yeah, I had no idea he existed.
I probably got that wrong, and someone out there that golfs is
We got a lot of golf heads who listen. Yeah, they're probably. Actually, we we honestly kind of.
But
do.
only 8-bit golf heads, right? Yeah.
No, man. Like, I'm surprised by how many like golfers there are in the nation. Yeah, they're quite a
Golf
few.
seems to be like coffee. You just hit an age where you got to do it. I don't know why. It's
Everything I know about golf comes from having to go to
Foxtrot.
a little bit, but mostly having to go to my grandparents' house, like my dad's parents, because my grandpa was hard of hearing but loved golf. So constantly, and controlled the TV. No one could touch it. No one could change the channel. It was golf on mute. So I had to sit in that room and just watch golf on mute with the subtitles.
hilarious.
I hated going over. Fucking hated it.
You're not missing
There
a
was
whole
nowhere
lot.
else to go. It was just sitting there in silence.
With it
watching
muted, though.
golf.
When golf wasn't on, what was it?
It was always golf.
It was always golf?
was
Not
always
even
golf.
Wheel of Fortune.
I'd never been over there. Well, I'll take it back. He used to like to watch. He would watch some westerns. So on the rare occasion it wasn't golf. 90% of the time it was golf.
Yeah.
But on the rare occasions it was a western.
Golf is like pretty much the same though on mute, right? Because it's like, wasn't there that big thing where it's like one station added like bird sounds?
And like somebody found out
Yeah, a
because
bird nut was like, wait a minute,
that bird's not there.
fakers.
The Golf Channel's a phony.
Yeah, big fat phony.
So, I mean, if anybody's a big Louis L'Amour fan, then my grandfather would always call me Tyrell Sackett, who is apparently
A Game of Thrones character.
a Game of Thrones. Does sound like, but it was whatever a star in his favorite. His Louis L'Amour wrote this series of westerns that was his favorite, so he called me that out of a character name from that.
What was his name? Tyrell Sackett?
Tyrell Sackett.
I feel like right now we're waiting to find out how Tyler's grandpa felt about him.
Not great.
Oh,
not great.
What can you tell us about
I did
Tyrell
not have
Sackett?
a great relationship with my grandfather. No one had a great relationship with my grandfather. He was a difficult man at best.
Yeah.
So
Mute golf man.
yeah, Mute Golf Man, who was a very good painter. You can find his paintings all around Western Kentucky. Him and his brother. His sister
All paintings
does
of golf.
all. His sister does all like the Christmas window paintings for like all the places around here.
What is a Christmas window painting?
Well, it's like, I mean, just like when you see in Wendy's, he's like the snowman
Oh, okay.
throwing
Okay, I
snowballs
gotcha.
or whatever.
I got you, okay.
She does all those.
I got you. I didn't know if it was like a, like a special Christian thing.
What are you one of them Christian things?
Right. I'm not privy to the Christian
I don't know
arts.
your cult, man.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't know if like he goes around door to door like, hello, are you Christian? Great. Let me paint your windows.
And lamb's blood. So,
Right.
so your force burn.
You're
doesn't
talking
take
about
it.
Kentucky Passover.
I'm in an Urban Dictionary Kentucky Passover.
It's where
real
you
quick.
you paint all the windows up and you drink all the bourbon you have until the next morning.
That seems pretty tame.
Yeah.
You paint blue and white blood over every door Rick Pitino comes and steals your firstborn.
That's
Shouldn't it be Christian Leitner?
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah, your Christian Leitner comes and steps on all your firstborn's chest like Tony Delk. That's about as good as my sports jokes get. So there you go.
I'm sorry, there is no Kentucky Passover on Urban Dictionary. So if we want to add it,
we gotta make
if
one.
we want to add it,
And
now's the time.
I feel like that's something TADPOG Nation on Facebook or wherever can come up with a lot of good things to do on Kentucky Passover.
like activities, like
Yeah.
Kentucky Passover activities,
Yeah.
like drinking bourbon,
Yeah,
with
or-
with the curtains drawn.
Yeah, talking to a stranger about abortion. That was something I did in Kentucky when I was here. That a lot. That sounds crazy, but for those of you that never crossed the Ohio,
Yeah.
it's not crazy. It's pretty average.
Answering if you've been saved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always by an attractive girl that you think, hey, this is going quite. Oh, son of a bitch. She's just worried about my immortal soul. I wanted her to touch it.
Have anal sex with a girl so you can keep her virginity intact.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's a Kentucky Passover
that's the
activity.
Kentucky Passover. I said, do you have a three-way with your 16-year-old self and your wife?
Would I have a three-way? No, the 16-year-old me is like First of all, not good at sex. Second of all, thinks he's infused with Mako energy. So no, I'm not gonna let that.
I don't know. I think Nikki might like a little ride from like those Mako infused eyes, just looking at her. Yeah,
she might. Look. She likes what what she likes. I'm not gonna argue that, but I'm saying if I have anything to do with it, and like I'm proud to say I can kick 16-year-old me's ass like any fucking day of the week. He thinks he can, but he is fucking wrong. All he's got is like a little bit of karate knowledge, and he played a lot of Mortal Kombat. But guess what? I've also played a little bit of
Mortal Kombat, and by this point have more karate knowledge.
I'm wiser, I'm stronger, I'm heavier.
I mean, how many Smash Brothers has he played?
None. He's played no Smash
So
Brothers.
fuck him.
He saw the commercial, I think, for the N64 version.
You heard it here first. Dave can beat up a child.
Yeah.
One that he's related to.
Right, yeah.
Or do I trick 16-year-old me? Like, no, go down on her. Because 16-year-old me was in love with Melissa too. So it's like, no, go down on her, and I'll have Melissa just piss in his mouth. That's what oral sex is. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you'd have 16-year-old you go down on you. Because if
Would you do
that might work.
Yeah? Yeah?
I'm not sucking him, though. He's the bottom. He's the younger one.
It's the whole... it's the whole, the clerk's thing of Randall's thing of the cousin who tried to suck his own dick. Or
right.
Whatever, yeah. And so if it's the same argument, it's just there happens to be another person involved.
But I think it's different then.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's different then because it's like... I can't
Shut up, Dave.
I can't remember who said it, but this is like a Kevin Smith connection because I was just listening to the recent episode of Tell 'Em Steve Dave.
Okay.
Wonderful podcast that seriously everyone should listen to.
After this one.
Yeah, finish this one and then be like, all right, now I want to hear a real podcast.
And then after you listen to that, compare it again with this one.
Yeah. Play them back. It's
Maybe
fine.
back and forth.
Back and forth, yeah.
Maybe like until you're that guy walking up and down the street in the middle of a major city just saying, Tadpog, Steve Dave, Tadpog, Steve Dave,
No, that's like letting 16-year-old me fuck Melissa, and then I come in and I'm like, oh, look how much better it is. All right, now have him again. See, it's terrible. He's good. It's awful.
But on Tell 'Em Steve Dave, Brian was quoting somebody who said that they think that like sucking your own dick is probably less like receiving a blowjob and more like sucking a dick.
That makes a lot of sense, really.
Yeah. That's just a good observation.
Because it's happening closer to your brain.
All right, do we have any?
Well, 16 is the age of consent in Kentucky, so I'm not statutorily raping myself. So
That's true.
So we're above board. Don't be weird about it. It's not rape.
It's just Kentucky Passover.
Unless I was his teacher, then it's illegal. Then it's 18 if you're in a position of authority.
But that's the only way it can be exciting, is if you're his teacher.
I have to have him enroll in school. And
The School of Tyler.
you go back to Marshall County. Go ahead and enroll. It's very different now.
Dude, who takes care of 16-year-old you who lives with you? Do you have to do do that?
Yeah, I guess.
Because he can't fucking take care of
He has
himself.
to get a job. Chong's is still there. He could do what I did at 16.
But the tech has changed.
That's true. You can get porn on your phone. There, go nuts. Go.
Yeah, he's not getting fired. Well, so who's going to buy him the phone?
Because I can use an old one that the girls don't want anymore. It's super new to him. It's 20 generations ahead of my Nokia I had when I was 16.
Yeah. Give him a Droid phone. Go nuts, kid.
Yeah, have fun. Here's an iPod Shuffle. Isn't it amazing? Let's see. What are the signs that a person should not be trusted?
Like in LA Noire, like they're looking,
That'll work.
they're looking down.
Looking down, looking to the
You
side.
doubt them. They lick their lips and like,
If they're covered in blood.
yeah,
It's pretty good.
yeah, that is a good
don't
one.
wanna
See, I just
trust
immediately
him.
think of Creed coming in on Halloween covered in blood. Oh, this is very convenient for me.
Creed is one of my favorite characters from The Office.
What lie do you repeatedly tell yourself?
Everything's gonna be fine. It'll be okay. Yeah, that one. How about you?
She thinks it's really big. She thinks it's big. She does.
That's the same as everything's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Yeah, you'll remember that. No need to write it down. I do that a lot. I'll remember that in the morning. No.
But see, I always do that with things that I secretly don't want to remember. Because it's like, I'll have a good idea for something, like the creative strike will happen. And it's like my reason part of my brain is like, my reasoning part is like, that's a lot of work. That's a shitload of work for a really shitty joke you just came up with right now. And then I'll be like, yeah, I'll remember that. Yeah, I don't need to write it down. I remember that. And then I don't. It's fine.
I've hit a place where I don't lie to myself too often. And you should. You don't want to face this shit head on. Go ahead and lie to yourself. It's all fine. When you turn on the news tonight and whatever weird fucked up thing whoever said, just whatever. Just tell yourself it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. See, yeah, everything's fine.
I was scrolling through the top answers, and that's on there like 6 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Everything's fine?
Yeah. What is something you can't believe people enjoy doing? Playing football games.
Yeah, maybe just playing football, period.
Football, watching football.
Sports.
I can play football, but watching football.
For me, it's like a long distance running. It's one of those things that I wish I could do. Don't get me wrong, but I would never do it to that degree. And not because it's like the fitness level. It's just like, think about all that time. Like some of them, it's like 6 hours of just I'm running. I get bored to death with like headphones on. Do you know what I mean? I guess I'm just too stupid to run that far.
Or maybe you're too smart to run that far.
Yeah. Well, Darwin would argue with you. I feel like Darwin is saying you need to run and far. But I'm not going to listen. Fuck him.
Everything's fine. It's okay.
I enjoy this answer, which is ranked near the top with over 10,000 upvotes, watching all 3 hours of WWE Raw on a weekly basis. So there you go, Michael Adam.
How many hours are in a week?
Like 4.
Yeah, they used to have like 2 shows, and now they're...
I was hoping you were going to say they used to have a lot more hours in a week.
Well, Raw is 3 hours on Monday, and SmackDown was a few hours on Thursday, I remember, and then pay-per-views on Sunday.
I literally meant how many hours are there in a week.
Oh, I don't know.
We could probably figure that out.
We could figure it out.
There's no way you can't know.
There's no way of knowing.
No, I don't. I had to pull up the wolf Alfram calculator or whatever and fucking crank that out.
I asked Duolingo. That fucking owl doesn't know.
I would tell you guys, but I can't afford a trip to that Hadron Collider.
Sir, it's really far away. So you mean all 5 hours, because Raw is 3 and SmackDown is 2. And it's on Tuesdays now. Shit. So in 2 days, you got to watch 5 hours of wrestling. I mean, I would have done that back in the day. I did like it that much back in the day. Banging animals.
I'm sorry?
Banging animals.
Banging animals?
I forgot
something
the
you
question.
can't believe.
I did too.
What's something you can't believe people enjoy?
Oh, I thought it was what lie do you tell yourself? Yeah, I banged an elk.
This is okay.
Yeah.
This is okay.
This is fine.
Yeah. I'm giving it treats.
Having your balls stomped on. That's not as worse as what was the E-Fuck video we watched of the girl with the heels going some guy's pee hole.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was awful.
Let's not talk about E-Fucked.
Okay.
Because we can't find any of the old E-Fucked
The old
videos
good
anymore.
ones, yeah.
They're gone.
Back in my day,
They've been scrubbed.
we had bad toilets and
It's
people
so
getting
fucking
kissed by a rose.
It's so surreal that right now there's a group of your listeners disappointed they can't see that stiletto go inside a pee hole.
Listeners, nothing. I'm one of those people. Yeah. I'm disappointed. E-Fucked was just such good entertainment. It really was. It's changed, man.
That stuff is just like not that it's not offensive to me. It's more just like I can't. It's like woo, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
Yeah, some of that stuff is tough to watch, but that's the fun of it. Can I watch it?
Yeah. I'm not even good at like skateboard accidents and stuff though.
It has to be sexually related for me to really enjoy it.
So it's okay to hurt people if it's only sexually.
I'm not saying it's okay to hurt people. I'm saying it's okay to watch people getting hurt if it's sexual in nature.
Okay, the next question,
Your Honor.
It's just like how many bodies are under your house?
What elderly person characteristics do you exhibit now?
Like a lot of them. Like a whole bunch of them. Yeah. Like too many to list, really.
The number one thing that like Dave knows about me to some degree, at least to some extent,
Is that Dennis is 80.
Is the old man candy. It's like I like Good and Plenty. I do like Bit of Honey.
Man, Bit of Honey, that's a... Ooh,
yeah,
that's a rough one.
Bit of Honey, Good and Plenty, which is like black licorice candy, and then like
a candy shell or something, right? Like,
like a... And then like there's a Good and Fruity that's like a fruity version of that. And I only knew like that's the candy that used to be in the movie theaters in Carbondale when my parents would take me. So everything in in Carbondale, I'm sure it's like everybody by then had normal candy. We still had 1950s candy.
I'm only going to give Jack black licorice. That will be his first and only candy till he's 15.
This is candy.
Would you like some candy?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is exactly what all your sisters are eating. No, you're fine. Eat your candy. I cannot get up without making a noise. Period. Any context.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like groans?
Yeah.
Or like excited noises like, I'm up! I did it!
Yeah. Didn't die.
Shut up, 16-year-old me!
Keep jerking off.
The worst old man thing ever for like to be around is that noise, but in like a public bathroom where it's like they can't.
Oh, dude.
You're standing right next to a guy in a crowded urinal and he's just moaning like crazy.
Yeah.
I feel for the guy, and at the same time, I'm like, man, I gotta get the fuck away from you.
I can't believe I didn't tell this story when I was talking about jury duty. We had a bathroom break. First of all, it was great because the judge was like, in about 30 minutes, we're going to have a bathroom break. And then immediately a hand shot up from the jurors. And he's like, what is it? Can I go now? And the judge was like, and the man said it just like that. Like he was 6 years old. Like I couldn't help but like laugh a little bit because I was like, I don't think we want this guy on the jury.
You're dismissed.
Right. So like the judge is like, yes, we can take a break now, but you can't go by yourself. Like if we can't let one person leave, like everybody we have to just go on a break because like nothing can happen in this courtroom without everybody being here. So he's like, we're going to take a bathroom break. And then we took that bathroom break.
Pick your buddies.
And I was like, right, exactly. And I'm like, well, I don't really have to go to the bathroom, but I guess I don't know when the next break is going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to get selected for this jury. So, like, I'm going to go ahead and go. And first of all, I know this is hack, but it is 100% true. Like, I walked out and, like, went to the bathroom, and there was literally, this is not an exaggeration, 14 women standing in line to go to the bathroom. And then it's like, I was confused because I thought they were, like, waiting to go downstairs or something. Like, it was just an inordinate amount of women just standing. And then, like,
all dressed like handmaids. It was really weird.
And what's fucked up is like it's a courthouse, so it's like not like a real building. It's got like wood walls and shit. So it's like I'm at a fucking acid Cracker Barrel or something. And it's like, so I'm like looking around, and it's like, okay, well if that's the women's bathroom, the men's bathroom has to be somewhere around here. And like I turn to my left, and there it's just a door. It's just a door there. No one waiting outside. So I'm like, okay. I open the door. I am immediately greeted by, a bathroom stall divider that are usually used to divide, I don't know, toilets and shit. There's one just right there as soon as I enter. So I'm like, okay. So I look to my left, and there's a trash can, and there's a tiny bit of space between the wall in the bathroom and the divider. So I'm like, okay, I guess I just go around here. The bathroom is honestly like the size of, I know our listeners can't see the octagon that we record in, but it's, I don't know, it's a very small room. It's essentially like a large closet, like a walk-in closet. It's like that size. I walk around the divider, and right in front of me as I turn right is a toilet. Right next to it, like a foot away, a urinal, 6 inches from that, the sink. And it's like there was a guy pissing in the toilet and a guy washing his hands. And I was like, all right, I'm going to stand at this urinal, unzip my pants, pull my dick out, wait 5 seconds, put it back in, wash my hands, and leave. And that is what I did. I was like, I will hold it because I am not going to the bathroom here.
You should like wait 5 seconds, just go fucking prostate, zip back up, wash your hands, leave.
No, I didn't. Look, I'm worried about being judged.
I didn't hear no piddle, son.
So maybe, yeah, that's an old man thing.
You a
for sure.
piss liar.
I would have waited and made the guy.
Liar? Is that your original, or is that? Oh my God, Piss Liar! That needs to be our newsletter, the Tadpog newsletter, Piss Liars. What were you saying, Dennis? I'm sorry.
Oh, I forgot. Piss Liar.
Was it about Piss Liar?
Yeah, Piss Liar stamped it out.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. I like it.
I couldn't let Piss Liars just stand there like,
I'm with you.
and die in the ditch. I had to dig that one out a little bit.
I remember you talk about having to go to the bathroom in groups. I remember because we had the Marshall County school shooting, over a year ago. And then I remember about 6 months later, Chaco Chica goes to the elementary school, and somebody had scrawled that they were going to shoot up the elementary school on a bathroom wall. So the whole bathroom
I'm sorry, I meant
system,
shit up. That was a mistake.
So you could only go like as a class to the bathroom.
Oh my God.
So
I never would have gone to the bathroom.
kids ended up pissing their pants in all the classrooms
Yeah.
because everybody would know, wait, and we'll all go to the bathroom together.
No, look, this is like, if you want me to be real, I've got like
When things get real.
the worst pee anxiety like in the world.
Really?
Yeah. It's honestly one of the reasons I do not like going to sporting events because the bathrooms are always that fucking pee trough.
Yeah.
That fucking piss bathtub. You gotta like
I do. Oh, we had one in middle
fucking
school.
hate
I
it.
hate the trough.
And it is like it is the worst. Like when I go to a movie, after a long movie where I really have to pee, like that is like the only, and it's like, I'm proud when it happens. Like it's like, oh yes, you did it, Dave. You made the pee come out.
Well, just like in that scenario, it's like I'm a grower, not a shower. So like in the situation, it's like I don't want anybody to look over and be like, what the fuck? I'm just like, yeah, I know. It looks like out of the pool. I know. If you get me horny, and you'll get a different show, my friend. Go ahead, get me horny.
But next time I pee, I am gonna turn next to the person and be like, "Get me horny."
What do you
think? What do you think?
You want to be impressed?
Yeah, get me horny.
That's the thing. If I went in and pissed with an erection, like I'm not getting the bathtub without standing like 10 feet back. So
You gotta arc it in. That's an Olympic event.
there's the erection line. Everybody has to stand behind into the trough.
You just made me think about the thing that Caleb Purdue, I believe, posted. It might have been like a month or two ago. That it wasn't.
Are you talking about the shit
the
cannon?
shit? Yeah, the shit.
We talked about that on the show. I don't know if you heard that or
No,
not.
I didn't. I missed that one.
With the guy who like kneels over in front of the toilet and literally launches a turd into like it's like a 3-point shot. Like,
Yeah, it became like this Zapruder film for me, where it's like I just watched it over and over. Is it real? Is it a magic?
Yeah.
Where did it like so many of I would show it to other people and then like talk to them later, and it would always at some point get to the same ideas that I had, which was like I noticed that it wasn't an English language comments. And
Yeah.
I was like, I think it might be Spanish, but it might also be Italian. And the only reason I cared about that is I wanted to know what he was eating. It's like how did it? And if it was Spanish and that was Mexican, who can eat Mexican food and do what that man did?
it was
Have it be solid enough to be
yeah.
launched and not just spatter.
Right.
Yeah, and was it a
Have
one-off
it
or
look
was
like
it
a-
practiced?
It's like yeah, like I figured if I had tried that, it would have been like bird shot for like a television shot.
You would have killed a quail.
Oh shit. Let me see what's our. Yeah, we can talk about.
You ready to
NFL
talk about this
quarterback
game
club.
for like 15 minutes?
It's been 44 minutes. Yeah,
All right.
perfect. We are on targets.
Let's do it. Tyler, do you hear that?
I do.
What is it?
It's me eating a bunch of Mexican and just taking a bird shot shit. Spread.
Bird shot shit.
Bird
Say
shot
it.
shit.
Say it.
It's the poo-poo train.
Yeah.
It's oh, you hear that, son?
You hear that shit, Foley?
That's the spackle engine coming down the tracks. Which, of course, ushers in a segment that we like to call Dave Reads from Wikipedia. Start the game segment now.
Anybody who's not our good friend listening, just as a favor, go ahead and turn it off now.
Okay, guys, NFL Quarterback Club is an American football video game for multiple platforms that features quarterbacks from the NFL. And it's like they're in some sort of club or something. It is the first game in Acclaim Entertainment's NFL Quarterback Club series.
I'm pretty sure 16-year-old me wrote this. Like, this is my level of book report as a sophomore.
I love that you said book report because
I can't fuck our wives, so I'm just going to fucking write this Wikipedia football.
One of my favorite ways of describing the show is like a meandering, dirty book report on video games. The first game was, to use the name, was a Game Boy title developed by Beam Software and released under Acclaim's LJN brand in 1993. We are talking about the Super Nintendo version of the game, specifically because all hail the randomizer.
All hail the randomizer.
The randomizer selected this game for us. And what we've decided to do on sports titles is, if it's a series of sports games, we're not going to dedicate one full episode to each game in that series unless they are wildly different.
Yep.
So because there is another NFL Quarterback Club game on the SNES, NFL Quarterback Club 96, we're going to be talking about both games. So spoilers, they're not super terribly different. LJN. I want to bring up LJN.
Womp, womp.
Yeah. I want to bring up LJN because when we looked this game up after recording last episode, that was like one of the first things we noticed was like, oh shit, this was published by LJN. Notoriously, LJN is like notorious for like bad games.
Yeah.
Typically, there are LJN games that I adore, like Jaws for one. I think I love that game, and Friday the 13th I think gets a lot of undue shit. But for the most part, like if you're a kid renting a game, you avoid the fucking rainbow. LJN the rainbow. It's like stay away from that poison. So I was a little concerned.
But Beetlejuice, man. Remember how good Beetlejuice was?
We played Beetlejuice. I think, didn't we do the Beetlejuice for the show?
Yep.
It's forgettable.
It's forgettable. And its atrociousness isn't forgettable because holy fuck, that was a bad
It's
game.
not forgettable. It's redacted.
There you go.
It's repressed.
Oh, man. Having to buy scares and then stomp Beatles.
Stomping
bullshit.
the Beatles. Yeah, that reminded me. Okay. Well, anyway, the good news is that LJN, at the time this game was developed, was pretty much, they were already sold to Acclaim. They were sold to Acclaim in 1990. It was, LJN was just pretty much in name only. I don't know why in the world they were like, I don't know, let's put it under LJN, see how it goes. They're, our hallmark of quality. But anyway, the follow-up games, those came out as Acclaim games. And what's really interesting is that both of these games, NFL Quarterback Club and 96, were developed by Iguana. From NBA James fame, and from most recently, Might and Magic 3, The Isles of Terra fame. But all they did was they didn't develop the original game, they just ported it to Super Nintendo. I guess my point is, this is a long fucking way of me saying, this game is better than I thought that it would be. I thought that this was going to be an unplayable football game.
I will agree with you on that point.
And I think it's because of Iguana. And because Iguana they were a decent developer. And it's also this weird thing where it's like, from doing this meandering shitty book report on a video game, I learned that like Iguana was purchased by Acclaim and became Acclaim Austin. And it's like, so like all these three things kind of like congealed together. And what we got out of it was NFL Quarterback Club.
Which became what you told me today, a very long-running franchise. Like
it ran longer than I
like
expected
a
it.
decade.
Yeah, because it ran to 2002, I think, was when the last one was released. And I mean...
And that was on 64, you said? Or?
That was on PlayStation 2 and GameCube.
Oh,
There
okay.
was a 64 version.
I kind of remember seeing that in a store. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you probably did because I read that the N64 version of Madden 64, didn't get the NFL license or the Players Association license because NFL Quarterback Club for the had gotten it that year. So, I mean, it was one of those where it's like, there's a Madden game out there where it's like the Chicago Bulldozers and they're like wearing like purple instead of blue, and it's like, but oh no, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. They did get the Players Association, so all the names are there. But
I think a lot of times they just would put like Chicago. You know what I mean? It would just like Tecmo Bowl did that, where the first versions of it was like Chicago whatever town, and then you notice how I can't say anything else. It's like just Chicago and some other fucking place.
other cities.
Yeah, and
Chicago, wherever the fuck I live.
and then like the next year of Tecmo Bowl did have like Chicago Bears, Carolina Panthers, or it didn't have the Carolina Panthers. They didn't exist yet. But whatever.
I remember when the Panthers came into existence, and it was weird because it's like the comic book nerd in me who's like, because like the whole comic book thing is, you never want to get in at like issue 387. You know what I mean? You like want to get in at issue 1 so you know what's going on. So like the comic book mentality in me, I remember when the Panthers were like when they came to be, and I was like, all right, now I can get into football. That's all Panthers, baby. I'm just gonna learn about the Panthers.
Yeah, just about Carolina.
The rest
Panthers.
is history.
Yeah, it worked out really well for me in sports.
All those years in the NFL,
Right. And piss lying.
Piss liar. That would be your. Do you guys remember the XFL?
You have stumbled upon my beards and glasses for this episode.
Well, there was like, I hope I'm not going to ruin anything, but there's like a famous jersey. It said "He hates me" because they would use nicknames as opposed to like so.
Whose nickname was that?
I can't fucking remember.
That was someone's nickname. He hates me.
He hates me, and that everybody always like laughed at how horrible that nickname was. And so you just need it. I just see your jersey with piss liar on the back.
Dude, I need a piss liar jersey. I would wear that at TADPOG prom if it's like piss liar and the number is 420.
I mean,
but it has to be a FUBU jersey.
the Paducah piss liars is it's just perfect.
That is pretty good. What
Did you guys go pee? Yeah.
Yeah, sure we did. Yeah. The colors for the costumes.
I think there should just be like
Melissa
some
calls
yellow splatters around the bottom.
Right.
They always look damp. Like Melissa calls my chef whites, like, oh, go get your cook costume. I'll wash it for you.
Good costume.
That's funny.
So what is XFL? Was that the wrestling kind of thing? Vince McMahon.
NBC
Okay.
plus WWF.
It's coming back.
I heard that. Yeah.
But I don't know how close to that original version of what they tried to do.
What was a game like?
I mean, it was basically just a football game. It was just the players weren't as good. And they tried to make it to where the ball was a little different. They were wearing different jerseys. There was supposed to be like less penalties, which like they're saying that now, but the first time that was before all the concussion stuff started. So I can't imagine they're going to be able to make it like as tough as they're saying.
Right.
Unless you can somehow get.
Elbow
Then
drop.
again, I mean, we're kind of in idiocracy. It seems like the next step, to be honest, where we just start killing off people in sporting events.
Go away,
Whatever.
Baton. Yeah, I'm there already.
Because it only lasted one season, and I think like cost NBC WWF like $100 million.
Yeah.
It was on NBC.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It was meant
So
to
this
bridge
was-
the gap between NFL and college football. So that's what would be playing in between people who wanted to watch more football. Didn't want to take a break.
Huh. Because I just assumed like it sounds like a basic cable kind of thing. You know? Like
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm not
Everyone
trying to be
was
shitty,
excited about it because it was I think it was like the months after football tour, and I could be wrong, but where it like bridged the gap because like after the Super Bowl, there's notorious not a lot of sporting events. Do you know what I mean? Until like baseball starts up in April, so like February to April is like a real empty zone that they're always trying to figure out how to make money off of. I mean, even the least popular movies get marketed supposedly in April, I think, which is why like I think are in February. I mean, or like that period.
Yeah.
You know, like Deadpool.
Deadpool,
Actually
I was just about to say
because they didn't
Deadpool.
think it was going to be that successful.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, marketed as a Valentine's Day movie.
Just like
so good.
Sonic the Hedgehog coming out February 14th, 2020.
wow.
I'm going to go see it.
That man, all the furries in that theater.
Yeah.
Oh man, let's dress up. Let's get expensive furry, no shitty cheap furry costume.
I'll dress up as Tails for you one
I'm
more
just going to
time.
get naked and paint myself blue.
My Tails costume is essentially an orange fidget spinner butt plug.
We just tape two like very cheap like orange feathers onto it.
Yeah.
I just want a bunch of people to hold up like hula hoops so that I can run through them, dive naked in blue through a bunch of hula hoops.
You need to carry onion rings with you at any time. So like if someone bumps into you, you're just like,
When the cops tackle you, throw them all in the air.
Exactly. That's perfect.
Well, this game, like, I don't understand football and don't understand the main crux of the game, playing football. Like, I don't understand. But this had, like, mini games.
yes. And what's interesting is the mini games, there are 4 mini games. The mini games only exist in the first NFL quarterback club game for the SNES.
Which is so weird.
I know.
Well, they were hit hard critically for having the mini games and not focusing more on the main game.
Oh, really?
But see, what's weird about that is I feel like in both games, the football game, played pretty similarly. Like in '96, I felt like we discovered, Dennis and I played it on Twitch.
Yeah.
We discovered that like the passing
And that was pretty common with Madden games too, to where just like any game back then, there was almost you had to find the weakness. Do you know what I mean? And so there were some games that you could just bomb all day, or I think it was like Madden 93 that might have been like if you had Walter Payton and could do the spin move, no one could ever tackle you. You know, so and the thing with these kind of games is, I mean, especially from this era, is like I never really played them alone that much. It was always me and my best friend Tony.
Impresario Tony.
Yes, Impresario Tony, who always lost every time. It was it was weird.
Wow, that's amazing. If
Yeah,
only-
he's so good at most things.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's awful at that. Like pretty much when we played sports games, it was like I was playing with like a special child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not here, so I'll just have to take your word for it.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think it was just like he was really into holistic medicine, and he was getting vaccinated, like not getting vaccinated so much that like he was loopy because he was always like sick,
Measly.
you know,
Autistic.
Yeah.
he was autistic from finally getting.
No, he wasn't autistic because he wasn't vaccinated. He was of more sound mind than
I don't
anybody
know.
ever.
Look up Jenny McCarthy. She seems to know everything. That's what Tony said anyway. I'm just playing. I am going to correct that because I don't want to live in a world where he's like, just in case he's like, that is almost the worst thing I could have ever said.
The being bad at Madden part.
Yeah, exactly.
Jenny McCarthy tits vaccine. Just look it up. There you go.
Oh man, Jenny McCarthy. I remember being in middle school and like I remember when I found out that my friend's dad had the Playboy with Jenny McCarthy in it. It was like that is all I could talk to. Like all I could talk about with him was just like, hey man, when do you think we might be able to see that Jenny McCarthy
I like
magazine?
I like the Freudian slip version better, where it's like it's all I could talk to. Just this little kid walking around Kentucky talking
Me
to
and
the
you,
Hello,
Jenny.
Jenny. I lived in Iowa at the time, so it was normal. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I remember
Normal
like
baby.
watching like
There's not enough people to notice.
what was the MTV game show, the dating game show?
He was like
on?
singled out.
Singled
Singled
out.
Out.
Singled out. I remember seeing Singled Out and thinking, holy fuck, that
And
girl is amazing.
Chris Hardwick and her, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
like-
And then eventually Carmen Electra.
Yeah.
when she
Yeah.
probably
And
left.
like this is the reason I know that is I watched a ton of that show. I am not someone who likes a show like that. I still don't.
Like a dating show, you mean, or like what? Yeah.
like Singled Out. Like I mean, I watched it religiously.
Yeah.
Because she dressed in clothes on it, and I was about 14.
Yeah, dressing
That's
in
pretty
clothes
much
was a
it.
problem for me.
No, not at 14. Do you remember that age when all it
Yes.
took was like, oh, the wind
Right.
blew past, and then it's
Yeah.
like now the most graphic pornography that you could imagine could not compete to 14-year-olds. Like, that's a tight sweater. Do you know what I mean?
I remember Xena, like just
Yeah.
anything. But we're seeing her in Singled Out. It's like oh my God, that girl's so hot. I remember when I got like that Playboy and I got to see her naked, and holy shit, was I disappointed?
You were disappointed?
So hard,
Why?
so hard.
You mean so soft?
So soft, yeah. Disappointed, so soft. Because I looked at her naked, I was like, that's not.
it?
I like, yeah, that's it. Like she's
Yeah.
had like ghost nipples, like which is not my thing. And it's just like,
What are ghost nipples?
yeah.
Oh,
Ghost
like they're not
nipples.
really there.
Yeah, they like blend in with the surrounding skin. Yeah, not a lot of contrast.
They haunt you forever.
Yeah. You jerked to me.
That Carmen Electra cum ghosts video is pretty good, where all the ejaculate she spilled that could have been important people who cured cancer and were president, but never went anywhere because of her.
Daisy Fuentes. That was my. She was my go-to.
Man,
man, I had two of her calendars.
I always forget about her.
Oh man, that calendar was like, that was gold. Like, look, I had a different reaction to the Jenny McCarthy Playboy than you did. I loved it, but I couldn't take that home with me.
Yeah.
But what I did have at home, the Daisy Fuentes calendar.
Yeah, my parents never would even let me have that. Like,
Kathy
I'm with
Ireland as
Tyler.
well. I had Kathy Ireland calendar as well.
Yeah, and that was like, I didn't have anything. My parents wouldn't let me had anything that's like, you're not a sexual being. It's pretty much what they wanted to get across. Yeah, exactly. We'd smooth you out if we could. You know? and honestly, my mom threatened a few times, I'll cut that worm off. You know. So
she just has a hot iron. Go ahead, pull it out. Come on.
Let's curl it.
with an iron or like just one blade of scissors.
Oh.
We'll call you Denny Elfcock. Come on.
The mini games in NFL Quarterback Challenge. So what's funny about the mini games is this game started out on the Game Boy, and in that Game Boy game, all it was mini games. There was no actual football that could be played in the Game Boy version, which I imagine a lot of people had a problem with. In the SNES version, you can play those mini games, but you can also play real games of football. Not real games of football. A simulated game of football.
With colored pieces of laundry.
With white people. With all white teams.
Yeah.
That's what you can do.
Yeah, this game is not, very
look
diverse.
Good. Yeah, not diverse. Nothing.
I mean, which is weird because it's like a players' association.
I know.
game.
It's very bizarre.
I mean, it was probably, as someone who's dealt with weird creative decisions, it's probably something like some guy just hated the color brown. It's like,
it's more expensive. Make them white.
Right, and he's lying.
it doesn't show up as good, you know.
Right, yeah. Yeah, but it's like one of those where it's like...
And now that man is president.
It's very the sprites are very almost cartoony. Like it's not realistic looking. Like when I play a Madden game, like on like even the Madden game that we played for this show, which I think was 97, I don't know.
Yeah.
It looked more realistic. Like I could tell like the style they were going for was a more realistic style.
Yeah.
To me, NFL Quarterback Club kind of looked like a souped up Tecmo Bowl. Like, I mean, there's not a lot of there aren't a lot of features on the players.
Yeah, I think it definitely seems more arcade than it does simulation.
Yeah.
And I'm not 100%, but I really feel like I might have played this game on an arcade game. I'm from somewhere that I would have to drive like 2 hours to find an arcade, you know. So it's like it was probably, if I did play it on our arcade game, it was Pizza Hut or Walmart. It was out in front of Walmart, or it was for those young people, they used to have games in front of Walmart. You know?
I think most of the people listening probably remember like the games in front of Walmart. I remember playing.
Walmarts used to not have groceries in them.
Wow, you're right. It's weird.
Yep.
I forgot that when they started
You
adding
heard
groceries.
the Super Walmart?
Yeah.
It's got groceries.
Man,
it's open 24
It was like
hours.
a big. We traveled to the first like Super Walmart that we knew of, which was like in Peevely, Missouri or something, I think.
That sounds made up.
No, it's a real place. I think there's a dairy there.
You're a Peevely liar.
Peevely liars.
Because I remember the one in Paducah when it opened up, everybody also talked about, like, there are people on roller skates. Because, like, all the associates had orange vests and would wear roller skates when it first opened up. And skate up and down, like, the grocery aisles.
Why would they do that?
I don't know.
Because it's super.
It's still weird.
We're so super, aren't
Like,
we?
oh, look at we're Walmart, we're cool.
Maybe
Remember the 70s?
it was probably just like Super Walmart was the idea. It was supposed to be so much more and so much bigger. So it was like, we're not going to be able to cover all this ground. We better get on these roller skates.
It's so big you can skate it.
Is there...
At 9 o'clock, we turn down the lights and we have a couple skate all over the store.
Couple skate.
Couple skates sponsored by Doritos tonight. Is there still a McDonald's in the Super Walmart? I can't.
I haven't seen one in a long time.
Because I remember that being a thing too, where it's like, wow, this Walmart's so super. It has like a kind of a food court.
Like this, like the one on Southside Paducah has a Subway,
Right.
but I haven't seen one with a McDonald's in it in a long time.
There are.
The one in Murray used to have a Blockbuster in it.
Oh, shit.
You're right.
And the only reason I know that is there was this like.
Oh my God! You just fucking opened a memory door.
There was a girl in a class that we had together, and she worked at that Blockbuster, and I'd always see her walk, and she was from Cyprus, and I liked her because she was like a real hard ass. So that made me like even when I pulled up then, and I had been in class with her all year, and I hadn't talked to her much, but it's still a little. And I was like, "Did you need a ride or something?" And she said, "Are you going to kill me?" I said, "Yeah. You can get in the back if you want." Because I had a truck.
Watch out for all the swords and knives and machetes, though.
Hey, I draw the line at rape. Thank you very much.
So yeah, I took her to Blockbuster maybe more than once. I can't even remember to work, but it was like a shitty Blockbuster.
Yeah, it was a tiny.
And Murray had like a really good video store.
Yeah,
that was like huge.
Right.
Yeah.
And he held on to that for a long, long time, longer than he should have.
Yeah,
it's not there no more.
Nuh-uh.
The Blockbuster in the Murray Walmart was the size of the tiny bathroom in the Paducah courtroom.
It was the size of Blockbuster that's just going to piss you off.
Yeah.
It's only going to have the 3 popular movies at that moment.
And limited copies of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You like My Cousin Vinny?
Like it.
If not, see ya.
That's my kind of Blockbuster. Okay, so what I need to do is take the
The
Blockbuster.
Marissa Tomei Blockbuster.
I need to take the Blockbuster logo and just change it. It still looks like the Blockbuster logo, but it says, "Just My Cousin Benny."
Yeah, I still have my Just My Cousin Vinny card and my number.
Let me know, Drew of Hops and Heroes, Barbecue Baron Drew. Let me know if you would buy that shirt, and I'll make it for just you and me. Drew, I love it because anytime anything is ever said about My Cousin Vinny, Drew sends it to me. And I'm like, bless you. You truly are doing the randomizer's work.
Good, that's good. But the graphics in 96 are much, much better from what I saw.
Yeah,
I didn't play it. I just watched the
smoother.
video.
They're cleaner.
Cleaner,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're cleaner. And it's like one of the problems that we had playing NFL Quarterback Club, the first one, is that, Janice, you pointed this out. It's like whenever you're trying to do a passing play.
Yeah, they didn't tilt the camera up yet. It was still too much bird's eye. So after 10 yards, the receivers are gone. Like you can't, like you're just looking at an arrow off screen. I mean, to their like a bonus for them is that they did have a good kind of mechanism, of like the arrows would turn green, yellow, red. But for how open they were, basically.
Right. But I had problems with that.
Yeah,
because it's like I would throw to a green arrow, and
then
it's
it
like
would turn
there would be
red.
there'd be like 2 guys covering him, and it's like
Which makes perfect sense in the game of even arcade football,
right?
That you would want to know who was around the basic area before you threw, and that game doesn't allow it. It's very Tecmo Bowl in that, but even Tecmo Bowl, I feel like you can see further up the field.
Totally, absolutely.
This is literally 10 to 20 yards, and they're gone.
They're gone. You can't see them. They're replaced by arrows.
Yeah, and then it's really a game about faith. you just throw it and hope.
But they changed that in '96.
Yeah.
And like you still can't see very far.
And I
but-
think we all realized that it was a big political statement that God is dead. or maybe they just
And we killed him.
or maybe it was just a better angle. I don't know.
LJN killed God. It wasn't us.
What were you were about to go over the 4 mini games?
Yeah, here are the 4 mini games, which I'll be honest with you, they're not great. Like I don't think it's a huge loss that they were gone from '96. It's just kind of weird that they just removed them though, instead of trying to make them better.
Yeah.
Because it's like it is cool where it's like what's cool about the mini games is you can jump in and do the 4 mini games in about 10 minutes. Like it's really fast. Meanwhile, it's like if you're going to play a game of football, you can change. Like there are a lot of options in this game. You can change the number of minutes in a quarter, but I mean, still, you're kind of looking at a longer game.
The foolish thing that they did with the mini games, though, is that to some degree, they just needed to make a decision which game they wanted you to play, because the mini game is completely different from what you're.
Yeah,
it's not like a learning place. You're not going to learn how to do anything that you're going to do in the game.
Absolutely not. You don't take any knowledge from the quarterback challenges.
See, that would be a good blending. Like that's a tutorial mini games to help you.
To me, like a better game would have been like a mixture of the two, to where you're always the quarterback looking down the field. If it's called Quarterback's Club, why not make it about a quarterback just throwing to the receiver?
I think I don't know this, but I imagine that would make it difficult for multiplayer.
Oh yeah,
because
true.
Then it's pretty much just the one person playing the quarterback, and then what's the other team doing?
Yeah, but I mean, that's the great trick of these games in this era anyway, is that you really are doing nothing on defense. It's like impossible to. I mean, if they run past you, you can hit the A button and then you'll fall down like you have fainted because you've seen
your soccer
ghost
flopping.
nipples.
My sadness.
Jenny McCarthy.
If the running back is an 11-year-old with a limp and glasses, you push him down. Right. That's what it looks like. Yeah. That's always a problem with these games to me. And even now is like the tackling animation always.
You mean how like the collision?
It doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And this, like some games, they'll run into each other and fall over backwards.
It does. It looks like toddlers playing football.
Yeah, it looks like they're just people pushing each other down and then falling on top of them. Yeah. It's kind of rapey.
A little bit. A little bit. But it is football after all.
Before I forget, one of them had... I don't want to interrupt the minigames, but I don't want to forget this part. Please. Is that the names of some of the...
Please interrupt the minigames.
The defensive plays were like things that were hilarious to us. One of is like
middle stuff,
which was our favorite for whatever reason. It was funny. You had to be there.
Yeah.
No, it's still good. Because everybody's got middle stuff.
Monster Jam, I think, was one of them too.
And then there was like Quick D.
Quick D was in '96,
and it was a great big D. And I just thought Taryn might love this game. Quick big D. That's all I'm saying. Play it today.
Quick D is like the way to go in '96 because it's like
the way to go now. Really, I mean, commitment is overrated.
Because it's like one of those things where it's like if you choose Quick D as your defensive play, the computer just like takes what the opponent has selected and then like puts together the right defensive formation. So it's like, why not just why have more options than Quick D?
I mean, the only reason is so that you could read the other stuff, middle stuff.
Middle stuff and Monster Jam.
Monster Jam. And there were a lot more. Like defense was loaded with, double entendres for whatever reason. But the offense, no.
There were also
serious on that side.
A lot of plays too.
Yeah,
like a lot of plays.
It definitely was like where Madden, and this isn't Madden, but it's where these type of games started to become more like a simulation in that sense, where they could start, because I remember being a kid playing Tecmo Ball, and it was like there's like 2 plays, and football. I mean, for someone who loves football, that it is a playbook the size of the Bible is what makes it. It's like chess. There's 1,000,001 moves. How do you want to move this time? It's one of the few sports there's a stoppage and then
You taught me something. What you just said reminded me. You taught me something playing this game that I never knew about football games, and that is
If you do it with your pants off, it's more fun.
No, I knew that. I play most video games with my pants off. Trust me, especially Honey Pop. What you taught me is
Audrey, you get AIDS.
yeah. What you taught me is
That's basketball.
Audrey's what I call Magic Johnson. It's our fun name.
it's his real name. Did you know that?
Yeah, Audrey. Yeah, Audrey Magic
Johnson. That's Audrey quotes Magic Johnson.
So Audrey's not his nickname? Magic quotes Audrey.
It's his randomizer given nickname. What you taught me is when I play a football game, I need to do as little as possible. Like choose a play, don't touch the fucking controller, and like just let it.
Defense, especially that way in those years. The next step might be is like you would always pick a defensive back and then just try to go and
direction of the ball
and hit a button and knock it down. They all their that animation where they jumped to knock the ball down looked like they were, it looked like Southern Baptists in mid-church is what it looked like. Hallelujah! Both hands up and jumping stiff as a board.
Yeah.
Because they got the spirit.
Right.
And so, like, I can remember me and Tony doing that as we played each other, trying to be the guy that interrupted. But when you do that, you're also pulling away and making an opening.
Right.
For you to throw into nothing and hope is there. Like if something could turn green,
right?
But then yellow and back to red,
right?
Very quickly,
very, very quickly.
Yeah.
There was in NFL Quarterback '96. There was instead of the mini games, there was a practice mode, and practice mode kind of does let you. It's got the same kind of overhead view, and essentially you're just running drills. The problem with that is it's hard and it's not fun at all.
Yeah, and it's like
football.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It's probably not even accurate to the way the game is because they draw a line
like
and tell you when to throw it, and if you throw it late, they just call it. It's not like they let him catch it later in the route. It's just you missed it, and they have it so early that you need esports players to be able to hit these buttons this quick to complete the pass.
Because you really have to do like BY. But what
it's
sucks,
like BAY.
But yeah,
because it's snap,
B to snap, A to pass, and
to bring up the menu, and then
because your wide receiver is your bay. Yes,
right.
I understand.
That's BAE. Come on, man, you know this.
Well, this is like back in '96.
Is that his real name? Like the Jordan Peele and the skit where they all have ridiculous names. It's Tyronius Bay.
But the mini games, I do want to talk about the different mini games. There is an accuracy mini game. These are all port. These are all part.
These are all port.
We need to talk
1996.
We need to talk about the seals before we get into the mini game. An NFL Quarterback Club '96.
These mini games just a tease. We're never going to get to it.
No,
it's it's like a Tool album.
You know what?
It just supposedly is coming.
I'm not doing them.
No, do it.
I'm not doing them. I want to talk about the seals.
Okay.
The sound effects changed from NFL Quarterback Club to NFL Quarterback Club '96, and it's like in '96, like you're greeted with this like super like in living color intro music, and it's like interspliced with "He's got the ball."
You can do
He's got the ball.
You wanna do.
And then, like with the players, when you snap the ball, it's just like.
They tried to make it like the sound of men fighting gruffly, I guess, but it just came across as like a seal was going to go across the 50-yard line at any minute, balancing a ball.
It's seal sound.
Just go to like a glory hole and just record it. Well, I have 4 points real quick.
All right, what are your 4 points?
1 point is when you guys are talking about Jenny McCarthy's ghost nipples and passing out and being haunted. So I guess if future me was talking to 16-year-old me who passed out at Jenny McCarthy's ghost nipples, then I have to remind him, you just lay here and wait for radio suicide. You'll be fine. Radio suicide is still like such a weird person for me to think of because her nipples are simultaneously.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, look, there'll be a link in the show notes. Yeah. I'll look her up on my phone.
To where
so
it's like, what the hell? But I like that though for some reason. This is very weird. The other, you were saying if like NFL quarterback club, like about quarterbacks and you're throwing. So I want to see all the other spinoffs, like the LGN's NFL tight end's tale, where you're just a tight end. Doing
Tight end's tale.
Tight end's tale.
I mean, weirdly, they kind of did that in the new Maddens.
Oh, really?
Because you can pick like whether you're a receiver or a quarterback and go through different and the receiver is more of a, you know what? It's someone who likes Friday night. It's basically Friday Night Lights for Madden.
Okay, I can do that.
That's radio suicide, Dennis.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay, so
Right?
Yeah. It's the star.
love you, my wife.
It's the star tattoos, but it's like the thing that I love about her, she can pull it off because like she is absolutely gorgeous. Like I mean, I think she's a gorgeous woman, and it's like I feel like not a lot of people can pull that off. You know, it's like a pixie cut, or it's like
I don't think anybody can pull off a big.
We need to
oh, that's not true.
get her on the show. Just the idea of two guys in the woods in Kentucky bringing her into a mattress fort. I mean, if
Come
you
to
could
the
pull it
mattress
off,
octagon radio suicide.
Stranger things might have almost happened.
to be honest, she's probably
Yeah.
done worse. Yeah.
Let's see. Also, the NFL, LJN's NFL kickers cadre, where you're the kicker playing through all the kickers.
I'd play the fuck out of that.
Do you
Especially
know what
like,
the music should be for that? Do you remember the Adam Sandler thing where I am the lonesome kicker?
Vaguely.
It's like I play ball, I kick ball, I play with ball. That's actually a Dana Carvey one, I think. There's like but the I am the lonesome kicker is like, which one is that on? It's like the really famous Adam, one of the like with
They're all
the
gonna laugh at
the
you?
pickup track and all that stuff.
what is that? Oh, the goat. That was
Yeah.
on. Oh fuck, I can't
Like
remember.
one of those albums
Yeah.
around those times had a song called "The Lonesome Kicker." It might even been the name of the album.
I don't know. The one I remember is They're All Gonna Laugh at You. I remember the second album. I remember some of the stuff on it. Like I remember a goat, but like I don't remember like the name of that album.
Then my last one was LJN's NFL wide receivers woes, to where you're just a fumbling wide receiver. And it's very difficult to catch the ball.
These all sound like really good RPGs, actually.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
After the Captain Ron RPG, a tight end's tale, a football RPG,
A footballer's tale.
footballists.
All right, that's it. That's all I gotta say about the game. I mean, it's okay. It's all right. It's fine. I don't know. I'm not like Dennis. I feel
Yeah,
like you need to have
We've
the
played
final
worse
judgment.
football
I
games.
think for me, these games are always
Yeah.
better to play with two people because, like, I think Dave and I probably enjoyed it more than Tyler did, just because there is a level of like improbability in it. Like you're literally throwing at one point to nothing, like
Right.
through most of the game,
And the computer
so-
knows
It's
what's
faith,
going on.
like you said.
Yeah, and so there's like I know when I played this or not this or game, but games like this as a kid with Tony, it was always one of us winning at the last minute and then going home for the night, knowing that there's like 12 more hours of us just to give each other shit over it, and honestly, it wasn't even that.
12 more hours.
We just really liked causing each other suffering.
Yeah.
As friendship, that's what friendship is.
Well, I mean, yeah. We did that with fighting games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we were with like Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but I mean, I know that Tony and I might have even played this game on his Super Nintendo, but we definitely played a lot of games back and forth through the years that were football. And up until probably around 97 or 98, they were still all this game to where it was you could throw long and win at the end, as opposed to where that happens in football very rarely. Right. This is like maybe every game we can do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean-
Especially when two people have played it a lot.
Yeah.
It becomes just everyone knows it so well that it's like who's going to score last. Do you know what I mean? And there's a little bit of like
because you're playing perfect games,
yes,
essentially.
to a degree. I mean,
You solved it.
yeah, and so especially when you're playing with someone else, like when you're playing against the computer, as someone who likes football, it's like I have the there's something about it that makes me want to do running plays and try this and play it more like an actual football game would be.
Yeah.
But when you're playing your friend, the only thing you're worried about is winning.
Right.
And so then it becomes much more of an arcade. It's not even really football.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really, it's not football.
No.
You know?
Well, and
you can't say that about Madden games now. I mean, they really are kind of football. You know what I mean?
I remember playing a Madden game on my Xbox 360. This was years ago. And I remember my dad coming over and like not realizing that it wasn't a real football game.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like one of those where it's like, okay, video games really have come a long way. Because it's like, I mean, he wasn't studying it or anything. He just was kind of like there and it was playing or kind of, you know, like in a demo mode or something like that. I think I'm glad that you brought up like the crazy passes and stuff like that, because you were the one when we were playing who pointed out that an NFL quarterback club 96, they had increased the digits for the scores from 2 digits to 3.
3, yeah.
And I can see why, because like it is way easier to play like offense in the second game.
Possible. Like you had an interception of the 2 games we played.
Yes.
3 hours of playing, there was 1 interception, and you honestly didn't do it, right? It just happened.
No, it just happened. Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's a basic achievement for me, is just get an interception on purpose.
Right.
I don't know what you would call that, you know, like a fate? I don't know. It's like
Fate smiles.
Maybe the sword in the stone, you know. After you do it, you're the king.
You're the king
of those rainbow games.
Of the Bears.
No. George Halas is the king of the Bears.
When we got done streaming, we went to get breakfast food at 12 midnight.
Yeah.
And you were wearing what you wore on the stream, a Bears jersey, and the waiter who greeted us, I guess, at IHOP was like, "Oh, you Bears fans?" And your answer to him was, "I am," and he's a Saints fan. And my response to that was, "Kinda." And then the guy was like, "Kinda," and he like pulled up his sleeve and he had a fucking Saints tattoo on it. And it was like, all right. And he was also like, "Dennis, you're a big guy."
Yeah,
he was also a big guy.
yeah.
And I was like, "I'm in middle school again." This is fun.
I mean, the weird
Watch out
thing
for my
about,
Mako
like,
eyes.
Yeah, bring me bacon and eggs.
But you guys have really created a world where like I am you now. Do you know what I mean? Is everybody, if I go to Tadpog prom and I mean, yes, there's people there who like football too. I
Sure,
understand
absolutely,
that.
yeah.
But overall, the majority of people are like Dave, and they're probably not going to be as into it as me, and they're going to be more of like Dave. What is that now? And that's how I feel every time anyone brings up pretty much any part of an RPG. And it's not that I don't like them. I've even started playing them a little, or 1 or 2 a little.
The Joe Mad one?
Yeah, the Battle Chasers, you know, and
Awesome.
and I like that, and I find it's a good kind of game for a certain type of time frame you have, you know.
But on the whole, I feel like football is still very popular. Like, you know,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I mean, like
Yeah,
you just mean like in Tadpog Nation. Is that what you-
Yeah. Basic.
That's a
I
very
just
small
mean what,
subsection.
What you're describing is being the guy that's like, oh, I don't really know what's going on, and like, oh, I'm the odd one out a little bit, is like very much what you've created in a community, which I'm very used to. Is like overall, graphic designers aren't huge sports fans either, and so I have always been surrounded by creative departments of people. It's like I don't really watch sports. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah. Soft boy over here.
But I mean, everybody's got their own thing. I'm just saying, you guys have created a world to where you get to like, and everybody likes the things you like, and the football that used to be for the cool kids, or nobody knows what the fuck it is.
Like, if we go to a middle school right now, before they kick us out, like, do the kid, like, or
I've
like
got a middle schooler, so I can go whenever I want.
Oh, you
School permitting
lucky
with
son of a
permission and a
bitch.
badge.
Ask,
This is something we'll hear in the trial as well.
right? Ask your middle schooler if the boys like watch a lot of football. I'm curious.
Okay.
Like, I mean, because like I remember when I was in middle school, yeah, absolutely. But I mean,
I'll ask her, and she'll be like, "How would I know that?"
yeah, that's a good point. Just be like, ask boys.
Get out of my room.
I would think they do. I mean,
I was holding back racial slurs that she would probably say. 'Cause she just loves them
Yeah.
so much.
Oh, you got to break her of that. There's one other thing I want to point out. Two other things I want to point out. I love that an NFL quarterback club, when you choose the quarterback challenge where you play those mini games, in the background is just a moving foot action logo.
Which, I mean, one interesting part of that is like, when did they start advertising in games? Like the first that I remember is like sports games were one of the first that they really hit because it's just made for it.
And it makes sense.
Because there were already advertisements in the outfield at a baseball game or whatever. Is like Arch Rivals. Do you guys remember that
totally.
game? Like the boards where like you would check in. I don't know what you would call that. I'm blanking. But I remember them having like advertisements on it for the first time.
Yeah.
Like
and I mean, racing games. I mean, even early racing games.
The Manhattan Project had all those Pizza Hut ads.
Totally. Yeah. I remember those things that fall on you.
And then, of course, the games like Make Kids and the Noid game and shit like that.
All
There
the
were
adver games. Yeah.
But a game, not an advert game that had advertisements.
Right.
I'm trying not to cough into this mic. But I'm going to do it anyway.
We like it. Yeah. That's what the people want. We got to give them what they want.
I'm choking on it in here. I'll let you guys figure it out.
Our boy stench.
A quick D.
Yeah, I'm choking on the quick D. You pop it in and out so fast, I keep talking. Oh, not that time.
The other
You got me coughing.
Wow.
Yeah, we're moving around the table.
Oh,
it's like spin the bottle.
Plague Boys. Troy Aikman's photograph. I want to talk about Troy Aikman's photo and NFL quarterback club. The first one.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like after a concussion. Like
He really did.
like he looked special. Like he looked like he was looking up for someone to help him go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Who chose that photograph to use?
Somebody who was not a Cowboys fan.
Right?
Yes. Someone in New York or Philadelphia.
Do you guys have any achievements?
I've got a couple that came in from Twitch chat. If you want to help with achievements, I pretty much stream 8:30 Central. I'll be streaming on Sunday the next game, whatever the randomizer blesses us with. So if you want to help with achievements and possibly get them read on the show, that's how you do it.
Take me to church. That's
The first achievement, I got a lot. First of all, I want to thank you for all the achievements. I got a lot of them. These are the three that I picked. This one is just for Dennis. The Bears. And
Bears.
that one comes from Lord Mike, a.k.a. Master Mold, I think. Or maybe it's Lord Mike of Purdue. I'm not sure. It was just Lord Mike. And then to unlock that, you need to be Dennis and pick the shitty-ass Bears.
Nice. That seems like it might be Lord Micah. Just because anytime I can mess with him about Kentucky, I do it.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of my thing. But the Kentucky,
It
the
is
basketball,
very much your thing.
the basketball team, not the.
I don't know.
Not the whole state.
I get a lot of texts from you about the state.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I watch the news.
Next achievement I've got, this comes in from Kana, and it is Hand of Your Wiener. In order to unlock Hand of Your Wiener, score 12 points during Jerk Score Challenge. Tyler, would you like to explain what
Jerk Score Challenge is between two male friends. I guess it could be females could play too, but between two friends that your high score, whatever score you end the game with, the next time you jerk off, that's how many pumps you get.
So
To finish.
as soon as that mini game, that meta game was introduced, I started playing a
I
lot
like
better.
to be clear. Like, is a pump one stroke or up
One
and
stroke.
down?
I'd say-
one stroke.
Yeah, one stroke. There
Yeah.
you go. That's one. This is
Well,
one.
that's up and down. One-
going all the way, going from
Top
top
to
to base
bottom.
to top is one.
Okay.
What's that?
One full circuit.
What's that porn series called? Is it Jerk Off Hero? Is that what it's called?
Oh, Cocky Road.
Cock Hero. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't remember the name because it's like, I'm not super into it, but it's like, I do sometimes find actresses where it's like, all right, I'll skim through it and be like, all right, I'm going to the comments. Who was it at 10:54? And the last achievement I got is coming in from Wizen Sage. Really awesome to
Nice.
see Wizen Sage Ian show up in Twitch chat. This achievement is fucked around and got a triple double. In order to unlock fucked around and got a triple double, you need to complete a pass into triple coverage twice while being fully aware that triple double is a basketball term. Do you guys have any achievements?
I've got one
What you got?
called Just Like Dandy Don Meredith. And
Who?
you unlock Dandy Don Meredith, who I only know from his appearance on an episode of King of the Hill.
Oh wow.
Ah, okay.
So just like Dandy Don Meredith, you unlock that by, in the mini game where you have to throw the ball into a target, you miss. Just like Dandy Don Meredith did whenever he threw for Hank Hill in that episode.
It should be easy to do.
Yeah. Dennis, do you have any achievements?
I would say, especially in '96, this is an impossible achievement. I think is Golden Era, which is just in early football you couldn't pass; it was only running.
Really?
So, like 1920 Chicago Bears, it was a running team.
When did they add passing?
I'm not 100% on the date, but it was probably in the 30s, I think.
Like, what was that like, I wonder? Like, were people torn up about it? Where it's like, I can't believe they're passing.
Well, the
They're
thing
throwing
is,
the ball. Fred, can you believe it?
Wasn't like Pops Warner was the one who
Yeah.
changed the rules like that? Or
Yeah,
used
it's
things?
like
Pops Ghostly?
Pops Warner was
Ghostly.
one of the first to use the pass, and then Newt Rockney was perfected it. Is the way I've heard it. Whether that's 100% right.
I never knew that it was. I always
Yeah.
just
Or is it
thought it was
Pop
in the
Warner?
game.
Is it Pop Warner or Pops Warner?
I don't know.
It's Pop Warner.
Pop Warner.
Okay.
Okay.
Which is like the
Somebody
name
would
of-
have said something.
Pop
Probably
Warner
Tony.
and the city would be like Little League football.
Yeah. That's the only reason I even know that name is Friday Night Lights.
Little Giants, wasn't that like Pop
Oh.
Warner football?
I haven't seen. I need to rewatch Little Giants.
It's been
such
a long time.
I was the perfect age for Little Giants, and I say that in that the fridge of
Yeah.
Little Giants was confusing to me.
Yeah.
It was because I was a person who loved the original fridge. It was my first hero.
Or was she
I gotcha.
Icebox? They call her like she was the.
Yeah, the
Icebox.
icebox. Yeah, that's why
Right.
I'm mixing it up because it's an obvious reference to
To the fridge,
The fridge, and icebox. I was probably 11 to 13 when that came out, and there's a pretty girl playing football. I was like, I don't know how to feel about this.
Oh, there's Devin Sawa. Never mind, I'm good.
I know exactly how to feel.
Thank you, movie producer. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just wait for Casper and then be bewildered in idle hands about how he did not grow up correctly.
But Golden Era, to go back to it, is just try to win a game without passing.
I love it.
And while you're doing that, piss on someone. If you want to
Golden
if you want to
Era.
do meta Golden Era.
Or lie about doing it.
Oh,
Lie about pissing on
I
someone.
totally
Liar.
peed on that
Yeah.
guy while I played football.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I've had a lot of fun talking to you and Dennis about things.
It's the best sports episode I think we've ever done.
It's been a pretty good sports episode.
Yeah.
Dennis,
Yeah,
will
yeah.
you come back for every sports episode?
No, sure.
All right, awesome.
I mean, who could turn down this
you said
type
no.
of money?
yeah, we are paying you a lot.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
We don't pay all the guest hosts, so if you could, well, I'll probably edit
Don't
that
tell
out.
anybody.
Yeah. Tyler, if you were to give this game a beard that sums up how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be and why?
I would give this the beard of XFL commentator Jesse Ventura.
He was a commentator for
Yes, he
XFL?
was. And it being
The politician?
the governor of Minnesota?
The Navy SEAL?
Because it was just a whole half-baked sort of production that didn't go far enough and was just kind of meh. Just like this game was just sort of meh.
Yeah. But
Had some promise, but
I do want to. I want to ask you one more question, and then before I forget, I've got a question for Dennis. This is the question
And then
segment.
after that, 10 more.
And then 10 more questions, and then another question, and then we'll randomize the thing. How about that? Sound like a plan?
Perfect.
Tyler.
And then another question about how to close it out. So then
Right.
then that's the last question.
So question,
10 questions.
10 questions,
Question.
question.
Yeah.
All right, nailed it. Tyler.
Yes.
If you were to give this game a pair of glasses that sums up how you feel about it. What kind of glasses would you give it?
I would give this the sunglasses of Jerry the King Lawler, who was also a commentator on the XFL.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I did not remember that.
A lot of the WWE commentators, Jerry Lawler, Jim Ross, Jesse Ventura, were also football commentators.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in a world where Andy Kaufman slapped a football commentator on
Right.
TV.
Right.
As a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was just about to
But
ask.
we also live in a world where the president did that too. You know, it wasn't Andy Kaufman. You know,
Yeah.
president of the United
Biz
States
big-
slapped a wrestler too. So I don't know.
AKA Tony Clifton.
Yeah, evidently, like all this time preparing for my career, going to college or trying to network, I just needed to slap some guy wrestling. It seems to be the way to succeed.
Trump is really Tony Clifton. That's,
Yeah.
that's the thing to
Yeah.
take away from this.
All right. Question.
His makeup job is terrible. It doesn't look like a real
He
person
didn't
at
change
all.
his
you know.
makeup from
Never-
the,
it never
from the
was good.
70s.
Yeah.
He looks like that's what Trump is. He's melted Tony Clifton.
Tony Clifton was melted Tony Clifton.
Yes, but this is 20 years later.
Dennis,
My hair changed color. What do you want?
how does this game first of all, what is the best 16-bit era football game in your opinion? Is it a Madden game?
Yeah, it would definitely be a Madden game.
Anyone in particular or
I think it's like I can even see the cover. It was like a 93. There was a cover that was just like the big letters 9 and 3 and up, and it wasn't the best because it was a good football game. It was just the funnest to play, and it was the running backs could just break 1,000 tackles. Do you know what I mean? And
Kind of.
That made it.
Avoid 1,000 tackles?
No, avoid would be to run away. Break would be like if you hit them away or you spun away.
Okay.
Or you jumped
Okay.
over. So all that stuff they had added, like the jump, the spin, and maybe this game had it too, and we just didn't know it.
yeah, there's a good chance.
But even so, that was the first game that I think they might have added a lot of that stuff, and it was so over the top. It was like Tecmo Bowl of that, and it was just so much fun, like because it was the ultimate of scoring fest, and you could hand the ball off at one side of the field and run it all the way to the other end while your friend is cussing you like a sailor.
Wacky games.
Yeah. So it was just fun. But again, these games, up until it hits like Madden, maybe in the 2000s, they're two-people games, I think. Like, and even now, Madden is fun with two people, obviously, online or whatever. But it's become a game where you could be an NFL coach and play it and maybe learn something.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a deep game now.
Well, they do those Madden Super Bowl simulations.
And every year that they make it, they add. It's more just the controls and stuff that you're able to do of dropping into the zone or shifting the defense was like a big deal. The line back and forth, and then now you can do swim moves and all this stuff on the line. Every player is so functional that which is when you think about that, compare it to this game, is like almost none of the players are functional. The quarterback can throw a ball. You hope that guy catches it, and
because
once
they were
he catches
vaccinated.
it, then he's a little functional. You know what I mean?
So, what do you think, as far as with that in mind? How do you think this game is? How do you think NFL Quarterback Club is? Like, how does it compare? Is it like a very bad football game? Is it a middle of the road football game?
I think it's definitely kind of a middle of the road football game. It would be a game that, like, if you were over at somebody's house and you liked football games and they had it, you'd be like, at least there's this.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? But it would never be like your choice.
So, would you recommend it to somebody?
No, I'd probably tell them to play Madden instead.
All right.
You know.
I mean,
So this does not belong on IGN's top 100 Super Nintendo games.
I mean, one thing that I can say about it is, like, and I don't know the history for sure, but it does seem to have a lot of, like, good ideas that translated later. Do you know, like, even like the red, yellow, blue? That's something
Like the
that's even
passing
used kind of now when you can see the receivers down the field.
Yeah.
And like the mini games that they took away later became a part of, and now there's like I said, it's like Friday Night Lights. I mean, I played those games and I really got into for the first time. I'm usually such a hard ass and like about football that it's like I don't care about your story. I don't give a shit your background. I just want to watch gladiators fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like once I played it, it's like I'm excited to play the next one, and I wish I would have made more of it because it really did. It's like it kind of tells you a story, long cuts, and then puts you in situations that you're trying to achieve something. Sometimes you're playing in a high school football game. And sometimes you're playing in the pros, and sometimes you're in practice trying to get, and so you're trying to achieve to move on to the next level. But in between, it's a pretty solid story.
Okay. That sounds pretty cool.
Do you guys want to answer 10 questions or try to?
Let's solely rely on Dennis for 10 football-related questions.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. This quiz came in from, of course, Quizmaster Bovine Bear Matt. Matt, thanks for sending this in. The title of this quiz is The Only Club That Matters. I'm assuming he means Club Magazine.
I don't think we're supposed to talk about this.
Just like the TADPOG listener titles, there's something to be said about a great nickname. Matt's got 10 Dave-style questions. He'll give us the quarterback's nickname with the era that they were prominent in parentheses. You must name the quarterback. Now, put your hands on the center's taint and say hike. All right, so this is a quiz for Dennis.
Yeah, because I'm about to say, in no way am I prepared.
First question, the Snake, 1970s. Can you name the quarterback?
The 70s?
Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
1970s was the era of this quarterback.
I am unsure. There was a Jake the Snake Plumber that played for the Broncos, but that was like in the 90s. So I'm not sure about the 70s.
Do you want to just go with that in the off chance that it's...
It's not right because he definitely didn't play in the 70s.
You want to take... Then we're going to have to guess.
Who in the 70s?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Okay.
Maybe like
Snake.
Fran Tarkenton or something because he was really hard to tackle. He was real elusive.
What was his name?
Fran Tarkenton.
Fran Tarkenton. You want to go with that?
Yeah, I'll go with
All
that.
right, Fran Tarkenton, locking it in. We all know Fran from...
Fran Drescher.
The nanny.
From the nanny.
Also the snake.
Going back again
Tunnel
to
snakes rule.
Like just like the icebox, something that was very sexually arousing to me in puberty. Was
Go on.
The nanny.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She was on an episode of Broad City I watched the other day. Like, still looks very good.
I mean, that's one thing that, it's definitely not true, and it's horrible, the idea of like, did you see what she was wearing? At the same time, you've never been a 14-year-old boy. And so, yeah, it's definitely never good that you can treat a woman badly, but you can't expect them not to. Like, if he gets an erection, that's not a weirdo. That's just a 14-year-old boy.
The snake was Ken Stabler. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, but I don't know a lot about him. I think he played for the Cowboys, too, maybe.
Okay. The next one I think we might all be able to get. Big Ben, 2000s to current.
Yeah, that's Tony's favorite quarterback. He's a huge Steelers fan because, he just loves the black and the gold. So go
I don't get that joke, but this is
he hates the Steelers. This has been Roethlisberger.
This is the rapist, right?
Big Ben, the rapist.
Was he convicted?
He wasn't convicted.
Okay, then we can't say that. Allegedly, the rapist. Locked it in. That is it. Ben Roethlisberger. Never would have been able to spell that in my life.
No.
All right. 1970s, blonde bomber.
Dan Marino.
Let's lace this out.
Man. Yeah, the 70s. Bob Greasy.
Bob Greasy?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
locking
I
it
like
in.
Bob Greasy.
I'm going with it. Terry Bradshaw,
No shit.
blonde bomber.
I did not know that.
That's a name I recognize.
Yeah, I didn't
He
know
doesn't even
had a
have
nickname.
hair.
Well,
What are you talking about?
He's from Louisiana, too. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He knows Terry Hatcher. That's all he ever
Right,
does.
exactly.
He went to the University of Southern Louisiana, I believe.
Next one. I don't know.
Next
Just made a
one.
word. Quan.
Yeah. Star Trek character.
It's a question
Next
one. Joe Cool, 1980s.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana? That sounds good.
100%.
All right, okay. Locked it in. It is Joe Montana.
That was his nickname because he was notorious.
because he loves Snoopy.
Yeah. Like in the Super
smoked
Bowls,
camels.
even when he was behind or like there's a penalty or like something, it looked like he was bored to death. Like the most tension-ridden moments of anybody else's life, Joe Cool just seemed like he was really ready to go home.
Next one is A-Rod, 2000s to current. I don't know this one.
Baseball player, isn't it? A-Rod?
I don't know.
Alex Rodriguez?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's an Alex Smith, but that doesn't make any sense.
Alex Smith, locking it in.
These are football players or quarterbacks?
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't know.
A-Rod,
Aaron
Tyler?
Rodgers. God damn it. No
you
wonder
go.
I didn't know. Yeah,
Aaron
it's
Rodgers?
Rodgers.
We didn't lock it in yet.
What do you mean? No, I don't understand why you're frustrated.
He's a Packers quarterback.
Oh, okay.
I get that way about people who abuse children. And that's Aaron Rodgers.
Allegedly?
No, I'm just saying that. I mean, but all of Chicago's got my back.
All right, locking it in. Aaron Rodgers is what you said?
The pedophile Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Keep your kids away from him, folks.
That Aaron Rodgers is correct. I don't know about the rest of the stuff. Next question is Air McNair, 1990s to 2000.
Steve McNair from the Tennessee Titans.
I said Air McNair. I think you misheard me. Steve McNair? Okay, locking it in. It is, in fact, Steve McNair. Next one, we all got this one, and that is Dan the Man, 1980s to 1990s. Yeah. That is Dan Marino, right?
Yeah.
Lace us out.
Marino.
All right.
Lace us out.
Got it.
As Tyler Dunnigan would call him, I don't know how to say it. The first bleep in Tadpog history.
Oh, yeah, forgot about that. The next one is Human Highlight Reel, 1980s to 1990s. Human Highlight Reel.
80s to 90s?
80s to 90s.
Maybe Steve Young.
Steve Young?
Yeah.
All right. Locking it in. Steve Young. It is Randall Cunningham.
Randall. I knew it was a running quarterback. I just wasn't. Randall Cunningham was he was Michael Vick before Michael Vick.
Big dog fighter?
Yeah, big dog fighter. No, he was as soon as I said it, I was like, God, I wish there was someone else to relate this to. It's like Randall Cunningham is a good dude.
Gotcha.
Kind of a.
He pet dogs, not fought them.
He was a quarterback not long after. And even to some point still when they were saying black people weren't smart enough to be quarterbacks. So he's a real kind of
Who was saying that? Just people?
Yeah, America.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird that someone from Louisiana is like, who would say that? What racist?
Louisiana, I mean, how long have you lived there?
Yeah, I haven't ever lived there. I'm just saying.
That's my argument to you.
On the way down here, I heard something about how in 2000 Selma put up a plaque for William Bedford Forrest.
Yeah,
the guy who started the Ku Klux Klan.
He was named Forrest Gump.
That was the year 2000 now. So, I mean, I don't think I'm that far off.
They elected Bobby Jindal. They're not racist.
And it was right around the same time they elected their first black mayor. It was supposedly as they put up that sign. So, kind of an answer, I guess. Well, what was the question?
I haven't given you the next one.
What were we talking about?
The human highlight reel.
The human highlight
Randall Cunningham.
I was just you were saying who said that.
Yeah.
It's there was it was about 1980 the first black quarterback won a Super Bowl for the Redskins, and I'm blanking on his name because he didn't play
It's because you're racist. It's fine.
Didn't they say something like that in Varsity Blues too?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that existed a longer period of time in Texas high school football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not that far removed that people were that stupid.
Yeah.
That someone thought Randall, I believe it's Warren Moon, who was similar to Randall Cunningham and maybe before. He had to go through Canadian football leagues and other leagues just to get a tryout, and now he's in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So
yeah.
it was really there.
Yeah.
No,
I believe you. I was just fucking
And
with
that's why there's only white. We didn't really. There's only white people at this game.
We did talk about that.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Because he hates the color brown.
Right.
Yeah.
Next question.
Okay.
Dandy Don, 1960s NFL.
Don Meredith?
You're
Don
welcome.
Meredith?
Yeah, Dandy Don Meredith. Yeah.
Oh, it is. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Locked it in. Don Meredith.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tyler.
You're
Yes.
welcome.
Last one, Mad Bomber, 1960s AFL.
1960s. That's before they became one league. That's why it says AFL.
I got you.
Yeah.
Eisenhower.
Dwight D.
Yep.
I'm probably going to wish I said something, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Not sure. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Kaczynski?
John Krasinski.
Yeah. Locked it in. Sorry, we're wrong. Daryl LaMonica?
I've never heard that name before.
I don't know. Maybe I'm saying it wrong here.
No, you're saying it right. I just don't know who that is.
All right.
Yeah.
May I have a harmonica? I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. We did pretty good. You did pretty good.
Well, Tyler got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all
Yeah.
got
We all got Dan Marino.
Look at that. All right. I've got two more questions. I want to know how much you guys think this game is on average. NFL quarterback club used for the Super Nintendo. How much do you think it is?
Which year?
Oh, don't worry. We'll just do
I would think like
first one first.
$5.99.
$5.99.
$599. No.
All right.
No.
$3.
$3 from Tyler. $599 from Dennis. Actual retail value of NFL Quarterback Club used for the Super Nintendo, according to PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording, is $3.35. So you're both very close.
Damn, man.
What do you guys think about NFL Quarterback Club 96? How much do you think that is loose?
$6.50.
$6.50? You went up.
$3.
$3. You went down. Okay. Actual retail value of NFL Quarterback Club 96 loose on PriceCharting.com at the time of this recording is $1.99.
Wow. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
It's worth $1.
I think it's worth $2. Yeah. $2. Yeah, it's worth it.
All right. All right. Well, now let's get at the real shit. Let's get to that real shit.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's commune.
Put on our prayer shawls, light the chaos menorah.
Let's touch dickheads.
Chaos menorah and touch dickheads.
Gingerly touch tips.
Randomizer, we are docked.
The first one to pee
We have
loses.
docked. Bring Sean Miller for his enormous foreskin to engulf all of our, like the Zone Eater in Final Fantasy VI, it will engulf all our dickheads.
When you first said engulf, I was just thought of Alf's
Engulf.
foreskin for the first time in my life. It's like a dog's sheath. Man, remember that episode where we saw Alf's lipstick?
Or just the loose
Red Rocket
skin.
Right? Man, you know what I love about Alf? That he eats cats, but you know what I hate? How horny it makes him afterwards.
He masturbates by just squeezing that loose skin at the end of his dick.
Willie, I'm horny. That's what he sounds like now.
Is that a hot water bottle? Yeah. All right.
You ready to randomize?
Yeah, let's randomize.
Let's randomize. Let's do it.
Drum roll, drum roll, drum
No
roll.
whammies,
drum
no
roll.
whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop.
35.
Ooh.
35.
Ooh.
That's up there.
That's up there. That could be the A's.
That's a low number.
on.
You think it's in the A's?
Come on.
You are
I mean,
correct.
there could, yeah. Come on, Alfred Chicken. Come
It's
on.
super Alfred Chicken. We've been over this.
Fuck.
Number 35 is Art of Fighting.
Okay.
Art of Fighting.
All right. That's
know
not
what that
bad.
That doesn't sound like it's going to be bad.
I feel
It
like
will
I've
be,
played Art
probably.
of Fighting.
So there we go. Art of Fighting. Next episode.
Yeah, sweet.
It's just a game where you paint fight scenes.
It's Mario Paint, but it's just
But
a
with-
famous boxing scene.
You paint like Ryu, like kicking in the air. Man, this is awesome.
Oh man, I'm so glad I got this SNES mouse. It's like color a dinosaur,
But with like Street Fighter characters.
Art of Fighting. The fight of arting.
All right, so that's what we're doing next week. The Art of Fighting. Let's see. Hey,
I'm sorry you guys can't keep playing the football. I know that's.
it'll
I'm a
come
little
back
bummed
around.
out. I'm a little bummed out about it.
Yeah.
I think there are 88 more sports games on the list.
Yeah, there are a lot. There are a lot. So I'll be calling you a lot. Don't worry.
You can look forward to 88 more episodes. Let's see. Hey, do you like the show? You want to send us something? Like, did you not like the Ask Reddit intros? Hey, you can send us a package. We'll open it. You can send that to TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002.
Yep. You can call us if you want. 270-883-2555. For the time being, we're only going to be able to take calls when it's like a Tyler and Dave show.
Yep.
Until I can figure out how to route calls through the Zoom recorder. It's possible. I just need to figure out how to do it. I need to test it. Take it to the lab.
Cool.
Test it.
I randomly remember, for whatever reason, that Nicole Nance really likes. What are those pink birds that stand on one legs?
Flamingos?
Flamingos. So if
Her
you
favorite
could
animal. at the
catch a
zoo.
flamingo and put it in a box and send it to Nicole, I think she'd like it.
Because she picks up the
I can't-
packages first. so.
She never said she liked live flamingos.
Just flamingos.
So take a chance. You know, it might.
If
She's
you-
not like Kenan when she threw change into the eternal flame moat around Elvis's grave and wished for a pet unicorn alive. Kenna knows that monkey's paw shit.
Yeah.
She's specific.
She's been to Ripley's, believe it or not. She knows.
She's seen her share of dead unicorns. Whenever she sees a dead horse, I cover her eyes and run up and put a horn on her real quick.
You guys just reminded me yesterday. My daughter came up to me and said, I'm 1,000 miles an hour. That like imagination was great. I have a great imagination. That's why I always think about a horse with a human head that's a unicorn. And I was like, wait, where does the head begin? And that made a whole story.
That's a whole conversation.
And then I've been thinking about like how freaky it would be if the horn was under the skin.
Oh, that would be.
And it was like a human head just from the chin down on a horse. I was like, and she was so happy about it. That did not sound.
Oh, that
good.
was her. That was her answer?
That was her plan. That was like.
Oh, yeah.
She was showing me how good her imagination was by telling me.
I mean, that is pretty good.
We have
pretty
just
great.
the dating simulator for her because that is a thing on like My Horse Boyfriend or like
Oh
a
my
dating
God.
simulator.
Nice. Yeah, it's what every 5.5-year-old needs.
Yeah.
A horse dating simulator.
Horse dating simulator.
Let's make boys weird for you forever. Let's see. Hey, we've got Tadpog Nation, or Tadpog is our Facebook page.
Find us there.
And then, but if you want that real shit, the shit you don't want your grandma to see, your aunt to see, you come join Tadpog Nation. That's where the dank fucked up.
Yeah.
That's where you go for the real shit.
That's when we all start getting real. What
Yeah.
is the real world thing?
We stop being polite and
start getting real.
Start getting real. We get really real on Discord. That's bit.ly/Tadpog Discord if you want to join there.
Really, really, really weird on the Tadpog dark web.
I mean,
Like-
we've got an NSFW channel in the
I
Discord
killed a guy.
You can see the video on our dark web website.
It's darkweb.tadpog.com if you're looking for that.
I killed him I just ran up to him and pushed him real hard and fell on him. And he just landed wrong. It's just like, you don't like NFL quarterback defense?
There's also, speaking of weird Tadpog subdomains, there's shirts.tadpog.com. Jonathan Wilson.
Hell yes.
Who you know of from Tadpog poster fame. He created a shirt, a Tad Dogs High Margin Foods shirt for us.
So brilliant.
And if you get that reference, then you should buy the shirt. You can find it at shirts.tadpog.com. Even if you don't buy it, check it out. It's you need to see what he has done. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we've got a new shirt now, and it comes in 3 colors.
3 colors, yeah. Let's see. We got Tadpog_podcast on Instagram, Tadpog_podcast on Twitter. What else we got?
Find us on Twitch. Search for Tadpog. You find it.
Yeah.
We have a Patreon. Hey, if you liked this, why not give us $1? How about that?
Or if you
What do
didn't
think
like
about that?
it and feel like we could do better with a little bit of money.
A little incentivation.
Yeah.
If you want to bribe us, you can do that at patreon.com/Tadpog. I'd like to think,
I'm a huge guy, and it's not that hard to find out where you fucking live. So, take that as you will.
yeah.
Josh. No, I don't. I couldn't think of any of your other friends' names at that point. I don't. So
They're all named
and
Josh.
weirdly, one of them is my friend. So I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Tony!
Who?
I'd like to take a moment to thank Drinksmith Joey Webster for just recently upping his pledge by a penny, riding that penny train. Hope you enjoyed that, buddy. You earned it. Thank you very much.
Our theme song is Moves by Sinking Board Drive. Link to that track from the show notes at tadpog.com. How do you boys want to close this out?
It's up to Dennis. What do you think?
I like the way that you just sounded a little bit like a smooth jazz radio guy.
I like that too.
I get that
Like
a lot.
Beatnik DJ is what people always
Yeah,
ask me. Like,
that's what
who's that beatnik DJ you always hang out with?
How about you close it and we just do this sound?
Who's the
Oh yeah, let's do that, please.
that Irish
I love
Maynard
it.
P. Gribbs you hang out with?
Yeah, I want a beat poem from Tyler because
I love it.
Okay, all right.
All right. Okay.
it goes with football.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
does.
know.
Yeah. Perfect.
Famously.
And with this, the end of the show, I say to you, a tropical Capricorn.
I'm going to pretend this is the mons pubis. I'll just bury my nose in it.
Oh, man. I've been doing it wrong.
So you just go,